In today's financial climate, there are certain benefits that offer relief to businesses that can help them grow and develop. A good example of this is Entrepreneurs Relief. Entrepreneurs Relief is a valuable tax relief at an attractive rate of only 10%. It's intended to benefit those who've personally devoted their time to the growth of the business and applies to capital gains on disposals of certain assets. Those assets are restricted to trading businesses, and therefore it's beneficial for the entrepreneur to manage their business in a way that maximises claims for Entrepreneurs Relief. This is a great way to cut costs, allowing the ambitious entrepreneur the opportunity to expand their business interests. Entrepreneurs Relief is available on the disposal of a trade by the self-employed or shares in a trading company. The trade or trading company must have been owned by the entrepreneur throughout the 1 year prior to the disposal. They should also ensure that they meet other qualifying conditions. In meeting these conditions, the more complex areas of Entrepreneurs Relief include disposal by trustees, the sale of shares relating to the cessation of employment, the minimum holding requirements, liquidations and winding ups, and finally the sale of whole or part of a business. Entrepreneurs Relief has to be claimed. It's a taxpayer's responsibility to maintain a record of all gains on which Entrepreneurs Relief has been claimed, and the claim must be made within 21 months of the end of the tax year in which the disposal occurred. Entrepreneurs Relief is available if there's a qualifying beneficiary of a trust. That beneficiary has to be personally involved in the ownership and conduct of the business and willing to surrender some of their £5 million lifetime allowance to the trustees. Entrepreneurs Relief is intended to benefit those who've personally devoted their time to the growth of the business. It therefore only applies to trusts if there's a qualifying beneficiary who owns at least 5% of the shares of the company outside of the trust. In connection with shares, there's an employment requirement. An individual must be an employee or officer of the company throughout a 1 year period ending on either the date of the sale of the shares or the date the company ceases to trade. Problems can arise due to the requirement to hold at least 5% of the ordinary share capital of the company. Due to certain tax benefits for acquirers of business, it's common for business sales to be negotiated as a sale of assets out of the company. Once the company's paid any tax on the sale, it's usual for the entrepreneur to liquidate the company and extract the sales consideration out of it. Entrepreneurs Relief can be claimed in these circumstances. Entrepreneurs Relief also applies to the business operated as a sole trader or as a partnership. A disposal of the whole or part of a business owned for a period of at least 1 year ending with the date of disposal can also qualify for relief. However, what constitutes a part of a business is more difficult to define than in the case of the sale of shares. In the case of the sale of shares, there's no requirement for any withdrawal from the business to take place. Provided the employment and 5% holding conditions are satisfied, then any relevant share disposal by that individual will qualify for Entrepreneurs Relief no matter how small, and regardless of whether that individual continues as an employee or not. So, if you're an entrepreneur and feel that you might qualify for Entrepreneurs Relief, come in and see us and we'll see what we can do to help.